I'm switching to Unity. When I posted the first video, I already knew I was gonna get into Unity, and I feel like right now is the best time because what is Roblox doing? I chose Unity because I heard it was very easy and similar to Roblox. They also have a very good asset store as well. I feel like I explained enough, let's get into this. I found these courses while I was downloading Unity, and I feel like it's the best place to start. The first course I chose was Get Started with Unity. Oh, and the course tells you how long it takes to finish it. I'll just deal with it later. This course tells you what each panel does in the Unity engine. These are the panels. The first thing it shows you is the project window. You can compare this to the inventory in Roblox Studio. This is the scene panel. Of course you can see your game through here, but it also has more mechanics as well. This is the hierarchy. You can compare this to the Explorer tab. And finally, this is the inspector window. You can compare this to the properties panel from Roblox. And look at how much things you can change. After the course explains what each panel does, it starts showing you how you can use these panels to make your game. This course explains a lot, and I highly advise you that if you're going to Unity, you start off with this. And one funny thing is that if you do this, you're gonna realize how eerie the game sounds when you're doing it by yourself. After finishing the course, it will tell you to publish the game, and the loading time takes forever. Probably doesn't help that I have it in a hard drive. After all the loading's done, you can simply name your game, put a description, and a couple other settings. And then the game is finished. After I finish that project, I still really want to learn C#. That means I'm going to have to do a harder course. Fortunately for me, there is one very big course right in front of me. At first, it just showed me what the first course already did. But then finally it told me to make a script. And what is this? You're telling me that scripts are in a different window? What's even going on in this script? Even while editing this video, I still don't know what this is. And while going through this course, I felt a bit iffy. I didn't even think I was learning anything. I felt like I was just copy and pasting and hopefully it worked. That was until I wanted to make a mechanic of my own just to add on to this type of course. I wanted to make it so that if the ball goes under the stage, it will be teleported back to the spawn point. And to help with this website and this video, I managed to make it. The main thing that was throwing me off at first was making the variables. It isn't like in Roblox where you can just type in local and whatever you want. From what I understand, you have to define what the variable is gonna be first, and then you can type the name. It didn't feel right, but I persevered. After I went through that and progressed a little bit more, I have to now work on oh no. I'm just kidding. In Unity, making a pathfinding system is actually pretty easy. In Roblox, you have to use all sorts of stuff, but in Unity, you can just add this and somehow it works. After that was done, I published a game and everything felt pretty good. Loading was fast, everything works as intended, and I tried a mechanic of my own. But I could never get rid of that feeling of not having a clue what I'm doing. So for a final challenge, I'm just gonna make a game on my own. No courses and no instructions. Of course, I'm gonna have a little bit of help here and there. The type of game I wanted to make was a replica of Rolling Sky. Obviously not copying it, but I want to get a similar mechanic of how the player moves forward and have to avoid objects. After I got all my objects in the scene, I started to add the scripts. For the movement, I added a rigid body to the player, and all I have to do is add a force just going straight. And I had to watch a YouTube video on how to read user inputs, and after that I can add a force, left or right, depending on what type of key the player presses. The player can fall off the map though, so I needed to add a barrier. I wanted to be a little bit fancy and use some math to this, and a way I can do this is using vector 3. At first I tried it this way, but it was super buggy and laggy, and since I was fairly new, I went to the Unity Discord. I asked if there were any other methods I could use that will give a better result. And this person told me I could use math clamp, which is to make sure whatever number you put in the clamp is between the min and max. And thanks to that dude, that mechanic is all done too. The next day, out of nowhere, I just went to flow state. I managed to make it so that if you touch this red brick, it makes you respawn. And I managed to make a random number generator, which will be used to make a randomly generated map. And this code looks a lot more complicated than what I was writing yesterday. But all I did was think how this would work in Roblox, and then somehow translate it to Unity. And it works. Looks like my Lua skills are paying off. Then I had to add a banger music. I used this video to help me out. For some reason, this took a lot longer than it needed to be. After that was done, I made a new scene, which you will be sent to after you die and get your high score. And then the game is done. Made my first game in Unity. Huh. You know, my first game on Roblox was much cooler and more fun than this. My first Roblox game had multiplayer, a combat system, a loop system, and then I realized something huge. In Unity, I have to make everything. I have to program the multiplayer system, I have to program how it saves, I have to program how tools work, I have to program HP, almost everything. There's so many things to work on, but I have to take it one step at a time. I decided for the next video, it's going to be about movement since movement is one of the most important mechanics that you need to learn. And I want to perfect it too so I can make a game that feels good for you guys. Hopefully I can get it done before next month, and until then, have a good day.